Give it a minute. I don't know what's happening here. Okay. Hey. Okay, we got everybody up. So, yay, we have everybody up. Let's give them a minute to get on here. I'm so excited about today. If you are already on here, please hit that love button, that heart button, or the like button wherever you are. Hit it. Leave a comment. Let me know you're here because I can't see everybody on the Facebook side. So I don't know why. It's this new setup they have on the back end for your video producer, or yeah, it's called video producer or something like that. But for some reason, I can't see my peeps like I normally can. So I don't want you guys to think that I'm ignoring you, but I literally cannot see you guys on here at all, and I don't know why. I don't know why. But anywho, nonetheless, we're all here, and I am so glad that you are joining me today. First, I want to get out of the way. Like I said, hit that love button, that like button. If you're already not subscribed to Christyl Benford on YouTube, or you haven't liked this page yet, then I want you to hit the like button, and I want you to subscribe so that you can be notified every time I go live and every time that I post some really good content that is either going to help your business, your mind, your ministry, or your life. Okay. So I don't want you to miss out on any of the good stuff. And let's get some other stuff out of the way too. This Sunday, I am having my live 5-day challenge called the Mindset Fix. You know how we need our fix for chocolate, and we need our YouTube fix, or we need our Hulu fix, or Netflix fix, or we need our food fix, whatever it is. Well, let's get a mindset fix. Okay, and that's what this is all about, is to help you to be able to build a mindset that can get you through anything and help you achieve anything. All you have to do is register at bit.ly/mindset fix challenge. Again, that's bit.ly/mindset fix challenge. I'm going to say it one more time. bit.ly/mindset fix challenge. Hey, bit.ly/mindset. Okay. But you got it right. It'll also be in the links. Is also the first button, which is the green button that's in my bio link, no matter what platform you're on. But it starts this Sunday, and you have to register to be able to see it, because it is a private event. Okay, so I want you to be my VIP and come on in and join me and the rest of the people that have signed up. And so if you need branding things too, I have some free resources as well as other good resources, even like courses and different things like that. That's also in that bio link, no matter what site you are on. Okay, so without further ado, just in case you're watching the replay and you don't know who I am, or you're on YouTube or wherever and you don't know who I am, my name is Christyl Benford. I am a brand designer. I own Zeely Creative Brand Studio. You can find out more information about that at Zeely Creative, that's ZEELY creative.com. And I am a GMA award-winning singer and songwriter, and I am a mindset advocate. I believe that everything that happens in our lives, it all stemmed from our mind first, whether it was voluntary or involuntary. Okay, not everything involuntary, not stuff you didn't have control of, but so that is who I am. I love to make sure that I'm giving you guys good content that can help you to build your business, build your ministry through your brand and your website, but also build the most important thing, the most powerful thing that you have, which is help you build the right mindset for where you want to go. All right, that's what I do. So again, I'm Christyl Benford. So today I have some really good information for you. I have a really good topic for you, and I want to share it with you today. Okay, and you can watch the replay as much as you want after I post it. But today I love this. So like I said before, I do branding, and so when I'm working with a client, I normally go through a whole series of questions. It's not just a series of questions just to find out what type of look you're going for your brand, or not just to find out who your ideal client is so that we can be more strategic on that side. But the reason why I do my series of questions is because I want to know kind of the heart and soul behind what we're building your brand to be about and to represent. That's the job of a brand designer, okay, and a brand strategist. I do strategy too. But before you can get to all that, you have to understand that there are a few things that you need to connect with and need to dive into in order to be successful at creating a brand that is going to connect. Now, the problem that we're seeing right now in today's time is that anybody that's wise know that they're already a brand. No matter whether you have a business, a ministry, or whatever, you are a brand. Whatever you put out is exactly what people are going to be picking up. Okay, that's what they're going to be picking up. So if you have a great personality and you treat people well and people love being around you, that's your brand. Believe it or not, your belief system and what you believe and what you talk about and the conversations you engage with, the people you engage with, that's a part of your brand. But the one thing that people don't take into consideration is that there is an actual psychology behind building a brand. And for those of you that already have built your brand, whether you are an artist, a musician, whether you are a small business owner, a hairstylist, a product designer, a content creator, no matter what you are, there are some psychology things you need to understand that go behind that really resonate, and it goes behind building a brand. So I'm going to share some of these things with you. I not only use what I use for my business, but I also use a lot of the things, or not a lot of things. I use some of the things that other business owners use or other brand designers use as well. And one of the girls that I use, I'll put her information in the link, and I forgot to grab her name, but I'll put her name and her information in the link if you want to look at what she's talking about as well. But I really like how she kind of packaged this, talking about the psychology behind the brand. When we understand that there is a psychology behind our branding, then we understand that psychology is going to affect our audience's psychology. So I'll start. I don't want to jump ahead of myself, but I'll start by giving you these few things. So give me 1 second, because it is not updating. I don't know. It is technical difficulties over here, and it's not by user fault. So give me 1 second. I don't know what's happening here. I had it all together, and then okay, so we got it. Okay, so good. So one of the quotes that she said, and I loved it. And like I said, I'll put her name in there. Forgive me if she is looking. Forgive me for not for not getting your name to put it in this video. But like I said, I'm gonna give you credit, girlfriend, in my comments. But one of the things, the quote that she said is she feels that a brand is an intentional alignment over time. I think that's wonderful. I love that. I think she put it very simplistic, and I think it is so true. A brand is an intentional alignment over time. That means that everything that you do is towards building that brand. Everything that you do is trying to keep a good reputation for that brand, not just short term, but over the long haul. One of the references she shared was psychology is the study of how. Now here's what psychology means. It's the study of how the mind works and how it affects behavior. So when you take that and you look at that definition for psychology alone, when you look at that definition, that should put into perspective that it's not only what you feel, how your mind works behind the brand as you, as the creator, as the owner of your company or business, side hustle, whatever it is, but it also puts into effect, like I said earlier, our personalities, how we act, but also how we can connect. This is the perfect little thing, that psychology thing. This is the perfect little thing that we can use to incorporate into our brands that is going to attract our demographic. I'm telling you, it's all about the psychology. And in my course, I have a free course that's for you. You could take it at any time. It's called the Brand Reboot, and I'll put the link. The link will be in my bio. The link's already in my bio, but the link, you can also see that under these videos when I'm done. But what am I trying to say? Oh yes, but the website reboot. I talk about the mindset and the psychology behind doing things, even the psychology of color. I give you ways to determine these things in your brand while you're building your brand on your own. And again, that's the brand reboot. I'll put it in there. But I also love how it talks about the psychology of the overall brand. We think about psychology for everything else, for mood disorders or personality disorders or mental health, mental health issues. We think about psychology when it comes to things like that, but we don't understand that everything that we deal with in life, from what we've experienced when we were younger, even up until now, is all a part of our psychology. Is all a part of our psyche and our makeup of our minds and of our experiences. That's what it's all about. The reason being is because think about it. When you go into or when you go into a soul food restaurant and you smell that food, might smell like, if you had that kind of grandmother, it smells like your grandmother's kitchen. Immediately when you have certain smells that trigger your psyche, it's going to remind you of something else where you smelled that before. You'd be like, oh my God, that smells like my grandmother's chicken. Oh my gosh, that smells like my grandmother's blah blah blah, or whatever the case is. It doesn't have to just be about your grandmother, but through our sense, through what we see, through what we hear, through what we experience, through what we're being told, some things trigger something in us psychologically that is going to remind us of a past experience. Well, that's kind of what we want to do with our brand. We want to be able to give an overall experience to our audience about the brand. And let me make sure. Okay, good. My volume's on this time. Okay, so in saying that, the first one is people connect emotionally, then logically. So you want to grab them at their heart. You want to grab them at their heart. So that's why I know you've heard me talk about pain point, and you probably heard other people talk about it too. You want to hit them where the pain point is and then show them the solution. That's why we talk about pain point, because you want to hit them where it hurts so that they know that, oh, I got this hurt, but then you follow it with the logic of, what I have for you is going to help you resolve that hurt in your life. And then they're like, oh, I can get rid of this hurt. I don't have to hold on to it. But you first had to grab them emotionally. You first had to grab them and say, oh, this is what it is. And it doesn't have to just be in a negative sense. It can also be in a positive sense. Like you reminding them, excuse me, I need some water. Like you reminding them of a good memory, or 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 talking about eating cotton candy when the fair was in town. Almost everybody can relate to that. But even though you can grab them at the emotion for that little bit of time, you want to also follow it with logic, because it has to make sense as to, okay, you made me feel good or you made me feel sad or whatever the case is. So what are we going to do about it? Okay, so then you got to hit them with the logic behind it. This is why I wanted you to remember that, because we have this that is going to help you in X, Y, and Z get to this outcome. Okay, that's what your brand should be saying. That's what your brand should be defined as during the creation of building that company, that business, that ministry, that brand, building you. That's what it should be resonating. It should be triggering them in their emotions, but you need to always follow through with something logical. So that was the first one. And she also mentioned that people are social, which I so agree. As we know, if you are watching this, you are clearly on social media. So we know that people are social, whether you are an introvert or whether you are an extrovert. I'm thinking of intro and outro. Forgive me, that's my music brain. Okay, gotcha. Even if you are an introvert or an extrovert or an omnivert, there's so many. But even if you're any one of those, you are social. Why? Because you're on social media. Even people that play video games, they're playing video games usually with other people on the phone or on their headset, and they're playing with them, and that's not even by touch, like one-on-one. Then you have people that are social butterflies. They love being out. If you talk on the phone, you're social. If you text, you're social. These little things make us social beings. That's what we are. It is rare that you have people that literally don't want anything to do with the outside world, meaning they don't want to look at TV, they don't want to be on the internet. I don't know nobody in this day and age that wants to be like that, but you never know. Hey, but everybody is social. We were created to be communal beings. So even if it's not face to face, literally like physical, and now it sure isn't physical, it is definitely going to be social in some other realm. So what do? You have to understand and connect with them that you are also, as a business person, you're also social as well. That you're social, that you want to be able to meet your customers and meet your clients where they are. So I always say this. This is one thing that when I do my brand consultations, is that every platform is not for everybody. So if you are trying to reach a certain demographic and that's older, then you're not going to be on Instagram as much because that's not where your demographic is. If you're trying to reach somebody that's younger, like millennials and is it millennials and Z millennials? I can't remember what the other one was, younger than millennials. But if it's millennials and younger, then you are not going to be on Twitter as much, where instead you need to be on Instagram because that's where they are. And so this is how we reach out to them, how we let them know that we're social, that we want to connect with them where they are, and we don't want to try to force people to come to where we are out of our own, little comfort zone spot. So I thought that was really good. Show your social abilities, show that you do things even in the community and different things like that. Show those aspects. And right now, we can't really be hands on like that in the community yet. We can't really do that. But you can do other things. Like there's other things. People are really extending their reach by their social things online. So even a cause does not stop just because you can't get face to face. Your cause should never stop. Okay, but you should be reaching your demographic socially and letting them know that you're social and that you want to meet them on whatever platform that they are, and that you are there, that you're present, and that you're engaging with influencers. I like how she said engaging with influencers, but that you're engaging with influencers and all this great stuff. Okay. She also talked about universal values. At first I was like, let me see. Do I recall that? Do I use that? Yeah, but I think she uses a different term for it. But when she talks about universal values, like what is their overall, what is their makeup, pretty much, connect to their values. And I did a video, I did a live about this maybe about a month or two ago, and it was talking about some of the hottest things. It might have been longer than that. It's talking about some of the hottest things to build your brand in 2020. And one of the things that was really big at the top of the list was, those value connections. And what value connections is what is their love for, what is their love, what is their love for community, what is their love for family, what is their love, like their achievement, what is their individuality makeup all about. You want to reach them there because really that's reaching them at their heart and soul. You want to reach them there because it shows that you connect, even if it's with a cause. You have the same type of cause that you connect with, like maybe lupus. Have a family member that had lupus and they really struggle with it or whatever, and you really support any types of foundations that support lupus. Maybe your clients have that same thing. That's the type of things, that's the type of ways you want to meet. Use that psychology behind the brand to be able to meet even down to their core, meet your audience with. Okay, this is also how we build our tribe. If you might have been feeling maybe a disconnect with the people that are either already following you on social media, or maybe even the people that you're always around, and there's a disconnect and they're not really vibing with you, maybe it's time to take a step back and see, well, let me see, are our core values in alignment with each other? Because if they're not, that could be a huge no, pretty much. Because if our core values are not in alignment with each other, then how can we really go deeper in this relationship. And when you are using your brand to build something major, you want to be able to take them deeper. You don't want a surface relationship with your audience. You want to be able to take them deeper, let them know, let them know that you agree with some of these social causes and that is more than just sell, 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 but no, you are building a deeper connection that is going to go long term and not just be for the short term. Another thing now this I say all the time. One thing I like that she mentioned was people have a short attention spans. Yes, they do. So when you are doing like your post, and I learned this, and I think I'm still learning it, but when you're doing your post, kind of get to the point, especially if you're doing ads. I'm learning. You really need to get to the point. Get to the point at the top. Now you don't want to give everything away, but people are not going to read your post for as long as they're going to sit for a movie. So we want to make sure that we're going to, because like a movie, that's the whole basis behind the movie, is that you're building, you're building up. And even though we want to build that suspense in a post or in an ad, we really don't have time for that. When people go into a movie, they're already in the mindset that I'm going to be here for a minimum of an hour. So I know that I'm going to have to go through the plot, and we're going to have to build up to a particular thing before it reveals who the murderer is. But when they are looking at an ad, when they are reading a social media post, it is so many people out there, and people feel, even if it's subconsciously, people feel that they don't want to miss nothing. So they are trying to fly through content as fast as they can. So if you are taking too long to get to the punchline, you're going to lose them, because people do have short attention spans. Let your brand get to the point. Let your brand hit them in their heart. Talk about what we talked about first. Get them emotionally, and then hit them logically, and then move on so they can move on, because you don't want to have something very long and then they never get to the end to find the punchline because it was just too much to either read through or whatever the case was. So this is something really good when your brand is starting to advertise, or even when you're trying to give some really good content in a social post. This is something good to keep in mind, that people do have short attention spans and you don't want to be long-winded. Okay, another one is, I like how she said brain seeks pattern, and it does. Your brain, everybody's brain is always looking for a pattern. Okay, so what does that mean? That's one of the reasons why we, as brand designers, a part of your brand package is the logo. Now, because that stimulates visually, it gets the psyche visually, and it shows them, the more that they see it over and over and over, it begins to build a familiarity. Am I saying it right? It begins to get them familiar with that brand, with that icon. And then when you're going live, like how I go live, or either if you're posting videos or posting pictures of yourself all the time with some type of inspirational quote or a little, business tip or hair tip or whatever the case is, it's giving them a chance to become familiar, to see something over and over. Repetition makes people be familiar. It even works when kids are in school and they're learning something over and over. They're going to eventually they become experts about it, or they're going to eventually get to the point where they've mastered it. And so that's what you want to do with your brand. You want to keep showing them your personality, your expertise. And if you have a logo that's attached to you, then keep showing them that, because they need to see both to understand that, oh, these two go together. And that's what it's all about. The brain does seek patterns. So I really admire how she said it, because I do that too, is you got to give them shortcuts. So use that how you make them be familiar. Use that and give them shortcuts to knowing that it's you immediately. Like recently I decided to go, to change up my branding a little bit, and really hone in on my colors, even as I post on social media. And one of the things I did, I said, no, we are going to solidify this coloring, this brand coloring down, and we're not going to make it confusing. Because before, when I first started social media, and I think this is before I start going really, really hard in my business, I think I was all over the place. Like if it was pretty, it was colorful, I put it up there. And when I go back down, when I went back down through like over a few years ago, I was like, good Lord, I was all over the place. And I think sometimes it was kind of it was too much going on. You know what I mean? So you want to simplify. And this also helps the brain to not be confused or not feel overwhelmed or anxious, is when you simplify those patterns, and you showing them you, and then the type of style that you give. So you're going to know my videos because I have a certain style in my videos, that where I have that thumbnail that image that goes over the video before you click on it. So, you're going to see that. And so when you see that, you're going to automatically know it's me, because I'm being consistent, and I'm giving repetition to make sure that your brain on the psychological side is grabbing a hold to seeking those patterns. And so the next one she gave was familiar. How do you say familiarity? I feel like my tongue is tied. Fosters appeal. That's what she said. So pretty much it just means being consistent visually. And that we just talked about that consistency is going to help that brain start seeking those patterns, and I also mentioned this in my course, the brand reboot, about those psychological triggers. And sometimes like color has triggers for people, smells, what I mentioned earlier, has triggers for people, certain words and tones have triggers for certain people. So you can use this, by clarifying who you are, clarifying your image, clarifying even your story, so that when you constantly are putting things out, everything is still cohesive, even though it might be different in the big ball of, or in each individual setting, but everything is consistent. It still has the underlying tone and message that you were designed and meant, and you the message that you meant to put out when you created your brand. That's what it does. So you want them to be familiar with you. Also, she said, now I like how she put this. She put it as distraction triggers engagement. Distraction triggers engagement. So what she was talking about here was provide revelation. Well, I said provide revelation. So liveliness, entertainment. So you want to make sure that instead of giving good content, and this is how I'm taking how she put it, instead of giving good content, or just, let me put that, instead of just giving good content, you want to make sure that it's entertaining. You want to make sure that you have some personality behind what you're giving. Even if you add a little song like this, it's something that you're giving that's kind of breaking up the monotony of just wah, 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 like Charlie Brown teacher. Like all the adults was like wah, 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 wah. Wah, wah, wah. Yes, teacher. You don't want to come off sounding like that. So make sure you put some humor in it. Put your personality in it, especially when you're posting on social media. Make it fun, and it creates those distractions to be like, oh, that was good information. But let me tell you what: when you make it fun, when you put your energy and your sense of humor into your work, whether it's a video, a post, or whatever, people are able to grab a hold to the content a lot better, because it makes it humanistic for them. So it makes it relatable. It makes it easy for them to connect with it on a psychological level, being able to understand it better and being able to get to the point so much better than before. Now, I'll tell you this. I know all of us have had a teacher where they were just as dry as dry. So imagine that. Imagine that you do not want to be that teacher where the teacher talks like a tone like this the entire class for about an hour to an hour and 45 minutes, and nothing changes. Their voice doesn't go up. Their voice doesn't go down, and everything is the same. And you're hearing it like this for 1 hour to 1 hour and 30 minutes. Wouldn't you be bored out of your mind? I know I fell asleep a few times in that man's class. I'm trying to think, did I even pass that class? I think I did. Or clearly I had to if I moved on. But but I'm telling you, you don't want to be that person. Make things that you're producing engaging, because and just think about it. The number one way that kids learn very well outside of just repetition is through music. Why? Because music is catchy. Music makes it fun for them. So when they're learning something along with music, then guess what? It makes it so easy that they're able to grab the content. They're able to connect with the content. They're able to remember it in a way where it doesn't attach anxiety to learning the lesson, but it attaches a fun psychological trigger to learning that lesson. And then it sticks with them forever. Okay. So these are some of the tips of how you can use psychology to impact your brand and to help you connect better on a personal level, on a deeper level with your audience. This in turn will help you to build that business and build that ministry even in times like this. And why is this the best time? It's always a good time. But why is this, since we're going through this pandemic, why is this the best time to use psychology? Because so many people are experiencing so many things, and all these emotions are so heightened that you can really grab a hold to which one makes the most sense for your audience, and you can really hit home with that and really resonate with them and really hit them on a deeper level. So that's all for today. I have a meeting at 1, so I'm going to get off here. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, hit the love. Hit the like. And I want you to join me Sunday. Okay, guys? I want you to join me Sunday. Again, like I said, change your mind, then you'll change your life. So that is the Mindset Fix. It is happening Sunday, April 19th. And I want you to click the link. It's in my bio. It will be in these videos, in the description, and on YouTube. It is also in the comments, I believe, or in the live chat part, and it'll be in the comments too. But it's bit.ly/Mindset Fix Challenge. bit.ly/Mindset Fix Challenge. Hey, bit.ly/Mindset Fix Challenge. All right. So I want you guys to join me. The only way you can get in is to sign up and to register. And the reason why is because it will be a private challenge, okay? Only for my VIPs. So become a VIP, join the challenge. See you guys hopefully Sunday. And if not, I'll see you next week live at 12:05. This is Christyl Benford. Have a wonderful day. Stay safe, be productive, and build your brand. Bye.